What was that, the Day of Atonement?
God.
All right, go ahead, mighty man. All right, Akalawan, present thyself.
Akalawan.
You did it backwards.
I did it backwards.
So you got to do your right foot always to the right. So everything's to the right. So you're going to have your right foot out. Nope. That's your left. Right foot and bring your right foot back. When you step to Imajum, so this is Imajum Shabbat. This is Imajum. You understand? So Imajum Shabbat, stand in Imajum Shabbat. Now Imajum. There you go. Now go ahead.
Akalawan, Bangad, Ban Yasharala.
Akalawan, Bangad, Ban Yasharala.
Yahal Bashim Yal Shabrakatham.
Yahal Bashim Yal Shabrakatham. Well done, now. Go ahead, Sar. Left hand over your chest. There you go.
La Shala.
La Yashala. Sar. Alright. Go ahead, let's go grab this. Go ahead, Kalawan. Alright, Majum, stand. Everybody stand. Help him out. Got it? Tawar. Alright. Alright, Majum, which means to stand. Wapanya Akwadam, which means rise and face the east. Alright. We're going to start the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
It's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Abanawa.
Shabbat
Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwavka. Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Lathalanawa. Nakhal. Yawam. Wasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Kasalaknawa. Kabawaknawa. Wala'ah. Tabayawanawa. Banasaya one. Abal. Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wahala. Salakia. Wahala. Salakia. Wahalala.
There you go.
Wahala. Wahata para. La'awalamyum. Aman.
In English, our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
It's the prayer for power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua.
Babakashah.
Nathalanawa. Haka. Larapa'ah.
1 second, you repeat after Kodayagabar. Go ahead, Q.
Larapa'ah. Kal Marala.
Nope.
Kal Makala. Salakia. Makal Marawa. Haka. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Haka. Lahakwiyim. Hamathium. Haka. Al-Rakawa. Hatama Allah. Lagargashan.
Ba'ashem
Ba'ashem Yahushua. The water Aman.
The water Aman in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the power to, the prayer to bless Israel. In the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasha'ala.
Wayasha'ala.
Wahaba. Salaki. Waha.
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 Bayat Sapari.
Bayat Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. What we just said was Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Ahahariam.
Ahahariam.
Mahayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azariah.
Isaiah.
Azariah.
Isaiah.
Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
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 Salaki. Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
La'ayathan.
Nope.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Ragalga.
Ragalga.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Yashamar.
Shawamar.
Shalaki. Shawamar.
Salakia, while the prayers are going on, nobody move. Nobody comes down, nobody leaves, nobody goes up. Everybody be still. Does everybody understand? Go ahead, Quinaya.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyika.
Yamyika.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarah.
Wayarah.
Salaki. Wayarah.
Wayarah.
Balayat. Salaki. Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Malka. Makalra.
Makalra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'athka.
Taza'athka.
Waba'athka.
Salaki.
Waba wa'athka.
No, it's not Athka. It's Waba wa'athka.
I'm Salaki. Waba wa'athka.
Waba wa'athka.
Waba. Say it again, sir.
Waba wa'athka. Follow with your finger. Waba wa'athka.
Okay, Salaki. Waba wa'athka.
Waba wa'athka.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'aid.
Wa'aid.
Awalam. Aman.
Aman in English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor
sleep.
Shall
neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
From all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Damayalaka.
Al Takarash.
Al Takarash.
Al Salaki. While Al Tashakwat.
While Al Tashakwat.
Al Kanyahana.
Kanyahana.
Awayabyika.
Awayabyika. Awayabyika.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Wamasaman Salaki.
Wamashanayaka.
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 Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Aimaka.
Ya'ira Salakia. Ya'ira Yamwa. Salakia. Ya'ira Yamwa.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Salakia. Ya'ira Yamwa.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Waya Salakia.
Go ahead.
Waya Thaya Tazawa. Waya Thaya Tazawa.
Waya Thaya Tazawa.
Al Tazak Pawanyaka.
Al Tazak Pawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Salaki. Wana kakidim.
Wana kakidim.
Magaya.
Magaya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yashala.
Sham Yashala.
Iwad.
Iwad.
Kawa.
Kawa.
Salaki. Kaya.
Kaya.
Now I Tazawad.
Now I Tazawad.
Lab.
Lab.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Ad ya Salaki. Ad Yaka. Salaki. I Yaka.
Al Yaka.
Salaki. Al Yaka.
Al Yaka.
Barya.
Barya.
Yakara. So like Yakaratwa. Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa.
Al Haharya.
Al Hahari.
Ahalya.
Ahalya.
Adamawad. So like Al Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashim. So this
Wayashama Alyum.
Wayam. Okay, so like it. Wayashama Alyum.
Wayashama Alyum.
Wama Abba.
Nope.
So like it. Mawa Abba.
Mawa Abba.
Wagargayam. Wahagariam.
Wahagariam.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Amawan.
Wa Amawan.
Wa Amalach.
Wa Amalach.
Palasaf.
Palashath.
I'm Yabyashib. So like it. I'm Yashib. So like it. I'm Yashabai.
I'm Yashabia.
I'm Yashabia.
I'm Yashabia.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gamashawar.
Gamashawar.
Nala Salaki. Nalawa.
Nalawa.
I am Amam.
Imam.
Hi Salaki. Hiowa.
Iowa.
Zar Salaki. Zarai.
What it look like? Say what it looks like.
Zara.
Zarawaz.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Salaki.
Go ahead.
I Shalom.
No.
I Shalak. Ash Laham.
Aisha.
Salaki. Say it again, sir.
Aisha.
Aisha Laham.
No, just Aisha. Separate.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadian.
Kamadian.
Kasaya Sa'ara.
There you go. Kasaya Sa'ara.
Kayabian.
Kayabian.
Banakal.
Banakal.
Ya. Salaki. Kayashwan.
No, that's not Ka. What is Q? That's
Kwayashwan.
Kwayashwan.
Salaki. Nasamadwa.
Nope.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
By Ayan. Salaki. By Ayanda Ara.
By Ayanda Ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
La Adama.
Shayath Mawa.
Follow it with
Shayathamwa. Shayathamwa. Salaki, sir. Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa is barbaric. It's like how baby talks.
Kind of what kind?
Go ahead.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Nadayabmawa.
Nadayabmawa.
Ma'arab.
Nope.
I mean Ka'arab.
Ka'irab.
Wakaza'aba.
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 Wakazabah.
Wakazabah.
Wakazalmanai.
Wakazalmanai.
Kal Nasaya Kamwa.
Kal Nasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amara.
Amara.
Nayasha. It's like you. Nayashra. Nayasha.
Nayarasha. Just like baby.
Nayarasha.
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 Lanawa.
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 Ah. Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Alahaya.
Alahaya.
Shayathamwa.
There you go. Shayathamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kagash.
Kagwash.
Lapanya Laraka.
Lapanya Raka.
Salaki, I'm sitting here. Lapanya Raka.
Lapanya Raka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Taba Ira Ira.
Taba Ira Yaira.
Wakala Ab.
Wakala Haba.
Wakala Haba.
Wakala Haba.
Dalahat.
Dalahat.
Haryam.
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 Khan. Darodatma.
Darodatma.
Basa Irika.
Basa Irika.
Wabasawa Pathka.
Wabasawa Pathka.
Tabahat Salaki. Tabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham. Wait.
Kuala
One.
Waya Bobby Salaki. Waya Bob Salaki. Waya Bakashwa. Waya Bakashwa.
Waya Bakashwa.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya Waya Bahalwa.
Waya Bahalwa.
Aid ya aid.
Aid ya aid.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Abawa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Da'idwa.
Waya Da'idwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Shalakia. Atha.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Labadka.
I. Yawan. Al. Kal.
Haratazah.
Aman.
In English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
Come.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel. Maybe no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kasan. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeb. Yea. All their princes. As Abah. And as Amunah. Who said, Let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh. Art the Most High. Over all the earth. So be it. Sar, which means to turn to you, right? Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabi, which means to be seated. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. Be seated. All right. Right there.
No, I was going to say, I thought maybe somebody was at the door. I got a call, but I don't think so.
Okay. All right. We in Leviticus. Go ahead, clap it up. First off, go ahead, clap it up. Clap it up. Everybody clap it up. You understand? Y'all see our school is in the United Kingdom right now. Give Commander Jenny Hahn and all the generals and all the captains and the brothers and sisters out there in the United Kingdom a hand. That's out there going to war in the United Kingdom, celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. Doing the work of the Lord, everyone understand? Enjoying brotherhood and sisterhood, which is what this time is about. So, like, you give me 1 second. Bear with me. I'm about to fix this camera.
So, like, yes, sir, I believe somebody is.
Okay, no sweat. Go ahead and start Leviticus 23 right there. It's right in front of you.
Okay, come on. This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Yahweh Debar. Yahweh Al Mashah La Amar. Verse 2. Debar Al Banya Yasharala Wa Amara Al Al-Ham Mawa'adya Yahweh Ashar Thar-Karakwa Atham Makarakwa Quadash Allah Ham Mawadya. Verse 3. Shashah Yam Ta'ashwa Salaki Ta'ash Malach Mala'ah Waba Yawam
Hashabaya. Shabbath one. Makorah. Kadash. Call. Mala'aka. Salakia. Mala'aka. La'ah. The Ashwa. Shabbat. Salakia. Hawa. La Yahweh. Bakal. Mawa Shabbat. Salakia. Mawa Shabbat Yakam. Verse 4. Allah. Amwa Idea. Yahweh. Markaraya. Salakia. Markaraya. Qadash. Ashar. Dakarawa. Atam. Salakia. Atam. Bama wide. Salakia.
What verse you on?
Verse 4, the end, the last word.
4.
Bama
wide dumb.
Salakia. Bama wide dumb. Verse 5. Bakadash. Hara Asha. Salakia. Hara
Ashwan.
Hara Ashwan.
Remember, so like if I could say this one thing about the Hebrew, when you're reading in the Hebrew, this is for everybody. Whenever you're reading in the Hebrew, make sure that it sounds like a baby speaking, right? It's like a baby talking. So when you're reading words in the Hebrew, it's just like you would hear a baby speak. So where you at, verse 5?
Kind.
So Bakadash, you want to follow it with your finger if you can, right? When you in that blue letter Bible, or if you have a Torah or a Tanakh and you're reading it in the Assyrian or the Paleo Hebrew, you want to follow it with your finger, right? And you want to read it like you would hear a baby talk, which is where the term barbarian comes from. To be barbaric is just that. It sounds like a baby. Ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za. That's how you want to read. Excuse me. That's how you want to read in the Hebrew. Everybody understand? So when you follow it with your finger, ba kadash, ha ra ashwan, ba arabayha, just like that. All right. Go ahead, mighty man.
Ba Salakia. Ba arabaya. Ashar. Ashara. La Kadash. Banyan. Ha-Arabia. Pasat. La Yahweh. Verse 6. Waba Kamasha. Waba Kamasha. Ashara. Yawam. La Quadash. La Khadash. Hazah. Ka'ad. Chag. Hamatazara. Hamatazawa. Salaki. Hamatazawa. La Yahweh. Shabaith. Yam. Matazawa. The
Aklawa.
Salakia. The Aklawa. Verse 7. Bayawam. Ha Ra'ashawan. Makara. Kadash. Yahaya. Salakia. Yahaya.
Not Yahaya, it's just Yahaya. There you go.
Lacham, Kal, Mala'aka, Mala'aka.
There you go.
Ibada. La'ah. The Aisha. There you go.
All right, go ahead, clap it up. All right. All right, go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feast of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. Verse 3, 6 days shall work be done, But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Most High in all your dwellings. Verse 23, verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, of the Most High, even holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. Verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at even, is the Most High's Passover. Verse 6. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Most High. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. Verse 7. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Alright, go ahead, Cornaya.
Alright, this is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 8 in Hebrew. Wahakarab Salakia. Wahakarabbathim.
Wahakarabthim.
Wahakarabthim. Asha La Yahweh Shabaith Yam Ba Yawam Hashabayeth Salakia Hashabayah
Salakia. After you said yum by your what is that word you said after that? Hashabayah. Go ahead.
Yes, was that right?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't hear it correctly. Go ahead.
Hashabayah.
Hashabayah.
That's Hashabayah.
God.
Makorah Kodash.
Make sure you're reading up too. Make sure y'all read.
Makorah Kodash. Call Mala'akath. Abadah. Abide. La'ah.
So like you said it right. So like yeah, Ibadah. You said it right.
So like it. Abadah. La'ah. Ta'ashwa. Verse 9.
Yeah. The Aishwa. You want to emphasize that I, because people would think that it's an A. It's a
Okay.
It's not
okay.
It's I. You want to emphasize the I.
So like it. That's the same one I had a problem with in the prayer too, with the eyes and everything like that. Okay. So
no sweat.
Emphasize the I.
Emphasize that I, so it's not. It doesn't sound like it's an
Okay. Kind of okay.
All right.
Verse 9. Why at the bar, Yahweh, Al Mashah, La Amar. Verse 10. The bar, Al Banya, Yasharala, Wa Amarath.
Wa Amarath.
Salakia. Wa Amarath. Al Ham. Salakia. Al Hamkaya. Taba'awa. Salakia. Taba'awa. Al Ha'aratazah. Hashar, Anya, Nathan, Lachom, Salakia, Wakwaratas,
Sound it out like you barbarian. It's barbarian. Quataza Rathum.
I keep saying the Rathum. Okay. Wakwaratas, Salakia, Wakwataza Rathum. Quataza Kataza Yara, Waha, Salakia, Wahaba Athium,
Wahaba Atham,
Amar, Ashya, Quataza Yar come, Al Hakakan, verse 11, Wahai Nabyap. One, so like, let me say it again. Wahana Yap. Ha'amar. Lapanya. Yahweh. La Ratazan. So like, La Ratazan come. Makathrath.
Nope, Mama Karath.
Mama Karath. Ha Habath.
Nope.
So like, Ha Shabbat. Yana Yap, you know what?
Yana Yap Noah.
Yana Nap Salakia. Yana Yap Noah. Hakahan, verse
Hakahan.
Hakahan, verse 12. Salakia. Verse 12. Why Salakia. Why Asha'atham. Why Salakia. Why Ashayatham. Bayawam. Hanayakam. Ha'amar. Ha'amar. Kabash. Tamayam. Ban. Sanathwa. Salakia. Shanathwala.
That's one word.
Okay. Okay, Salakia. Shanathwa. Wa Allah.
La.
Salakia. La al Salakia. La Allah. La Yahweh. Verse 13. Wa manakawa. Ma Salakia. Wa manakawa.
Wa manakath. So like wa manakathwa.
Okay, Salakia. Wa manakathwa. Shanai.
Shanya.
Salakia. Shanya. I Sharunyam.
There you go.
Salah. Balala. Balawala. Bashaman. Salakia. Bashaman. Asha. La Yahweh. Rayach. Nayachach. Wa Nasaka. Yayan. Rabbi Aith. Salakia. Rabbi the Aith. Hahai. Salakia. Hahayan. Verse 14. Walakam. Wakalawaya. Salakia. Wakalaya. Wakamar. Salakia. Wakamal. Wakaramal. La'a. Ta'akawa. Ta'akadwa. I Atazam. Ha Yahweh. Salakia. Ha Yahweh. Hazah. I. Habayakam. Ath. Salakia. Karaban.
Nope, that's one word. Ath is one word.
Okay, Karaban. Quaraban. Allah.
No.
Salakia.
Allah Yakum.
Allah Yakum.
Allah Hayakum.
Allah Hayakum. Okay. Allah Hayakum.
Go ahead, keep going. Don't stop.
Karakah. I will Ladorath. Salaki. Laradath Yakum. Bakal. Mashabath Yakum. That's it.
Yup, that's what it said.
Actually got us right. We all the way in there now.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. We all the same. But you scoot over this way, Q. Scoot down this way. Kalawan. That way that emblem, the school's emblem, it's not in your face. Scoot a little bit further down. You too, Kalawan. Get closer. All right, there you go. Go ahead, Kalawan.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 8. But ye shall have an offering made by fire unto the Most High.
But ye shall offer.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High 7 days. In the 7th day is an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 9. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying. Verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then ye shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest. Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before the Most High to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Sabbath. The priest shall wave it. Verse 12. And ye shall offer that day when ye wave the sheaf and he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto the Most High. Verse 13, and the meat offering thereof shall be 2/10 deals of fine flour mingled with oil, an offering made by fire unto the Most High for a sweet savor, and the drink offering thereof shall be of wine, the fourth part of an hin. Verse 14, and ye shall eat neither bread, nor parched corn, nor green ears, until the self same day that ye have brought an offering unto your power. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings.
Now we're back to the Hebrew.
Okay, back to the Hebrew verse, Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15. Wasaparatham. Lacham.
Mama. That's Mama Karath.
Mama Karath.
There you go.
Hashabath. Mayawam. Habaya Kom. Imar. Hatan Wapa. Shaba'ah. Shabathwa. Tamayath. Salakia. Tamayam.
You said verse 15?
15, yeah. Second.
Tamayamath.
Tamayamath. Ahaya. Salakia. Tahayayana. Verse 16. I, Mama Karash. Salakia. Mama Karath. Hashabath. Hashabai ayat.
Slow down. Just slow down. Follow with your finger. Hashabayai.
Hashabai. Salakia. Hashabayai.
There you go.
Dasaparwa. Kamashim. Yawam. Wahakorab. Salaki. Wahakorabtham. Manaka'ah. Ka'adasha.
Salaki. Ka'adasha.
Kada'asha.
There you go.
Kada'asha.
There you go.
La Yahweh. Verse 17. Verse 17. Mawa Washba.
Mama Washba.
Mawa Shabbat.
Mama Washba.
Mama Washba.
Mama Washba.
Kayam. So that's all the word, right?
Oh yeah, it sure is. So you know what that is? Try to give it a shot.
I'm gonna try to give it a shot. Mama Wash Shabbat Yakum.
There you go, it's perfect. Get a brother a hand. That's perfect. First time. Keep going.
Tabayawa. Lakam. Danya Wapa.
Shafyum.
Shanya.
There you go.
Shanya. Aisharanyum. Shalah. Salah.
There you go.
Tahayanyana. Ka'amataza. Ta'apanyana. Bakar Waryum. La Yahweh. Verse 18. Wahakarabta thumb. Wahakarabta thumb. Al Halakom Sabaath Kabashim the Mayamya Yamam.
You verse 18, right?
Kind of.
Yep, that's
Banya. Shana. Wapar. Ban Bakar.
That's it's just one word each.
Okay, that's one word. Ban Bakar Akkad. Wa'alyam. Shanya. Yahayawa. Ilah. La Yahawah. Let me select you. Wamanakah.
Where you at?
Verse 18.
Okay, I see you. Go ahead, keep going.
Wanasakyaho. Ashar. Raya. Nayakak. La Yahawah. Verse 19. Why I shayathum. Shayar. Izayam. Akkad. Lakata'ah. Washanaya.
It's not sub. That's SH or
SH. SH. Wayashanya. Kabashim. Banya. Shana. Laya Zabat. Shalamya. Verse 20. Wahanapya.
Wahanaya.
Wahanaya. Hakakan. Hakahan. Atham. Al. Lakam. Al. Bakawarium. Ha Bakawarium. Da Nawapa. Lapanya. Yahawah. Al. Shanya. Kabashim. Kadash. Yahayawa. Al Yahawah. Salaki. La Yahawah. La Kahan. Verse 21. Wa Koratham. Ba'atazam. Hayawam. Hazah. Markorah. Kodash. Salaki. Yahaya. Lakahum. Salaki. Lakom. Kal. Mala'ath. Mala'akath. Salaki. Salaki. Abada. La'ah. The Ashawa. Kakwath. Iwalam. Bakal. Mashawabath Yakum. Mashawabath Yakum. Ladarath Yakum.
Alright, go ahead and call it one.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye brought the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
7 Sabbaths.
7 Sabbaths shall be complete. Verse 16. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Most High. Verse 17. Ye shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 2 tenth deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Most High. Verse 18. And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year, and 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. They shall be for a burnt offering unto the Most High, with their meat offering and their drink offerings, and even an offering made by fire of sweet savor unto the Most High. Verse 19. Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering, and 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offerings. Verse 20. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Most High. With the 2 lambs they shall be holy to the Most High for the priest. Verse 21. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day, that it may be an holy convocation unto you. Ye shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings throughout your generations.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 22 in the Hebrew. Wabakadzar come. Kadzaria. Aratazakam. Aratazakam. La'a. Dakala. Pa'ath. Shadaka. Ba Quatazarka. Walaquat. Quatazarka. La'a. Dalaquat. La'anya. Salaki. La'anaya. Walagar. Da'izar. Atham. Anya. Yahweh. Allah. Salaki. Allah Yakam. It just has S.A. Sa.
Don't read that.
Okay, Salaki. Verse 23. Waya Debar. Yahweh. Al. Mashah. La Amar. Verse 24. Debar. Al. Banya. Yasharala. La Amar. Ba Kadash. Hashabya. Salaki. Hashabayaya.
There you go.
Ba'aka. Salaki. Ba'akad. La Kardash. Yahad. Salaki. Yahaya. Lakam. Shabbatwan. Zakarwan. Tharawai. Salaki. Tharawai. Makwashwa. Salaki. Makwara. Kadash. Verse 25. Call. Mala'aka. Ma'alakath.
It's like Mala'akwa, the brother in the school in Philadelphia. Mala'akia is the same way, just adding the kath instead of ya.
Okay.
Mala'akath.
Call. Malakath.
You have to say the other part.
Malakath.
There's 2 different words. Malak is my name, that's king. Mala'ak is something else. That's kingdom. You understand? So you have to say the la'ah. It's like saying la'ah. You say it's 2 A's, it's double A's.
Mala'akath.
Mala'akath, that's right.
Okay, Mala'akath.
There you go.
Ibadah. La'ah. The Aishawa. Wahakorabtham. Asha. La ya Salaki. La Yasha'ala.
No.
Salaki. La ya Salaki. La Yash Salaki.
That's the most high.
La Yahweh. I'm trying. It's the S.A. at the end. I keep.
Oh, Salaki. Don't. Salaki. Go ahead.
God,
I'm gonna give you that's the wrong one.
Why at the bar? Yahweh.
Don't pay attention to the sun at the end. Even when you're reading it in the blue letter or you got a Tanakh, that's something that Jewish people put in there. Just like the what do they call it? Those little silly accents at the beginning, at the tops of the Hebrew, Syrian. Don't pay attention to that. That's all white Yiddish garbage.
Okay,
so sa at the end of everything is just Christian. It's just what Jewish people put at the end of everything because they're Christians too. Just like the accents on the words when you read it, like this brother has it in the in the Assyrian. It's those accents. Those aren't Hebrews. Okay, that's something the oppressor incorporated in our language, in our holy tongue, that they don't even speak. They speak Yiddish, which is not Hebrew. It's Polish, German, and it's a bunch of Germanic, Slavic garbage. Everybody understand? So that's not El Shaddai and Elohim, that's Yiddish. So when you read it in the Hebrew, and you see Sa, and you got those little silly accents, ignore them, because that's not the Hebrew. Everybody understand? All right, go ahead.
26. Waya Debar, Yahweh, Al, Mashah, La'amar. Verse 27. Ak, Ba'ashawar, La'kadash, Hashabayah, Hazah, Yawam, Hakaparyam, Hawa'ah, Makwara, Kadash, Yahaya, Lakam, Wa'anayatham, Ath, Napashath Yakum, Wahakaraptam, Asha, Asha, La Yahweh. Verse 28. Wakal, Malakah, La'ah.
Mala'aka,
La'ah. The Aishawa. The Aishawa. Ba'atazam. Hayawam. Hazaha. Kaya. Yawam. Kaparyam. Hawa'ah. La Kapar. Al. Yakam. Lapanya. Yahweh. Allah. Yakam. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 22. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Most High, your power. Verse 23. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath of memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation.
So, Laki, go back up to verse 22.
Come on, sir.
And just read it. Read it from the top. Read verse 22 from the top.
Verse 22. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 22. And when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not make clean riddance of the corners of thy field. When thou reapest, neither shalt thou gather any gleaning of thy harvest. Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger. I am the Most High, your power.
Can anybody explain to me how this connects to today? Everybody knows what today's our holy day is, correct? What's today's our holy day?
Feast of Tabernacles.
The Feast of Tabernacles. What is a tabernacle? Get a sister's a hand. Next time you raise your hand, but it's a good job. It's a tent. What the brother just read, how does that connect to now, to the Feast of Tabernacles? Anybody can give it a shot. How does that connect to now? Right? The Most High ordered brothers and sisters in the nation of Israel, when you're gathering your grapes, right? You grow fruit, you grow crop. When you're gathering them and you're cleaning your field, you're gleaning your grapes, which is you're picking, leave some. Don't take everything, leave some. For who? Go ahead, sis.
For the poor.
For the poor and who else?
And the widow.
And the stranger. Right? Get a sister hand. For the poor, that's number one. Right? The poor. The whole reason the Most High gave that order was to make sure the poor are taken care of. How does that tie into now? How does that tie into now? How does that tie into the Feast of Tabernacles? Now, Now, if you get this is going to be amazing. Because so many, you have to untrain your mind to think Christian. Right now, fake Israelites believe that you should go out and get a tent and live in a tent for 8 days. Do you have to go and get a tent for 8 days? Why? Answer, Kodaya. Go ahead.
We already living in a, we poor. We already living in like a you could say a tent.
And why are brothers and sisters poor? Why are so many people poor?
Because of all pressure.
Somebody look this up. Look up the homeless rate in America. Somebody look that up real fast, right? What the brother said is correct. Give him a hand. What the brother said is correct. A tent, a tabernacle is a tent, right? We are poor. We live in tent cities. Go look up Skid Row in Kensington and Allegheny in Philadelphia. Go down to Prospect on 31st and Prospect here in Kansas City. Go down there to U Street in D.C. Go down there to, where is that in St. Louis? Captain the Goggle Bar gives all that food.
Martin Luther King.
On Martin Luther King Boulevard. Everywhere. Go to Martin Luther King Boulevard everywhere. And you're going to see tent cities full of black and Hispanic people that are living in poverty. That is a tabernacle, right? What is the poverty rate? What is the homeless rate in America? Read what you got there. Oh, so like it says you got something?
I just looked it up for.
Read what you got, Cornell.
All right, this is the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Counted around 582,000 Americans experiencing homelessness in 2022. That's about 18 per 10,000 people in the U.S.
Brother.
Up about 2,000 people from...
Speak up. Make sure you speak up.
Up about 2,000 people from 2020.
So the homeless rate has been increasing every year. Every year. It's over 500,000 homeless people in America. Over 500,000. What does America have? Like, America has Walmart. You understand? America has Stan Kroenke. Y'all may not understand who that is. Y'all, okay, let this blow your mind, Akim and Akwafian. Okay, America has Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' net worth is more than countries that are not third world. You understand? Like, Jeff Bezos has more money than countries, more money than Germany. If Jeff Bezos was a country, he would be richer than 10 countries combined. Does everybody understand? Do you get that? That's one man. Where is he from? Is he African? Is Jeff Bezos German? Is Jeff Bezos African? Is he Italian? Where does Jeff Bezos live?
Right here in America.
He lives where?
Slovakia in America.
That's one man. That's Amazon, $1 trillion company. Apple, $1 trillion company. Give me some more companies. Walmart, the Kansas City Chiefs. You know how much these NFL stadiums cost? Like billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. There is look this up for me real fast. Look up the most expensive penthouse in New York City. Somebody want to take a guess at how much it costs? Somebody guess how much the most expensive penthouse in New York City costs. Somebody guess. Blow my mind with the answer. Go ahead, Akalawan.
1 billion, sir?
No, it's lower than that. Sis, you had your hand up?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
700 million.
You close. Go lower, a little lower.
500 million.
A little lower.
200.
You own it. $268 million. Does anybody know what a penthouse is?
Hell, Salakia.
Go ahead.
I thought it was an apartment. Like
A penthouse is an apartment. A penthouse is this, a basement. And it's $268 million. That's how much the most expensive penthouse is. That's how much the most expensive penthouse is in New York City. Okay, no sweat. That's how much it is. $250 million. That's one apartment. That's one penthouse. A penthouse is one floor. That's it.
Right.
It's not upstairs and not down. It's just one floor. 6,000 square feet, one floor. On a sky building, a sky rise, that's what, 100 feet tall, 100 stories tall. So you got people above you, underneath you, and it's $264 million for a floor. That's it.
Right.
Not for the whole building, for a floor. And people live in those. Ball players and rappers live in those. Businessmen and doctors and lawyers and those cats on Wall Street live in those penthouses. And the homeless rate is what, Kunayagabar? 500,000 people. And you have a floor that they rent out for $264 million. See, here's the problem with America. Here's the problem with our oppressor is greed, avarice. Something that blacks and Hispanics couldn't understand how greedy our oppressor really is. The oppressor has companies that are worth more than countries. America has people in it that are businessmen that are worth more than the countries, worth more than Haiti, worth more than Mexico, worth more than Russia, worth more than Germany and Britain. They're worth more than countries. And there are people that are starving. There are people that are homeless. Why? Why are there people homeless and Jeff Bezos has more money than 10 countries combined? How is that even possible? How is that possible? How is it possible that you have stadiums like Arrowhead and people that live outside the stadium are poor, and the stadium itself costs $100 billion, $6 billion, $5 billion? How is that possible? Guess where the penthouse is in New York? It's in New York City. If anybody ever been to New York City, you know what the problem is in New York City? Homelessness. Right outside of a $265 million penthouse, there are people that are sleeping outside downstairs of a $264 million penthouse. That only in America is that something like that possible. Somewhere where people starve and they're looking inside of a building where the person is renting it for $264 million. God made sure that that would never happen to us thousands of years ago. The Most High God implemented laws and rules so that you cannot be greedy like the oppressor, so that you cannot be greedy like America. You can't be greedy like Jeff Bezos and like Microsoft and Apple and Clark Hunt. You are required to take care of the poor of your people. That's the way that it's always supposed to be, because that's the way it always has been. Everyone understand. The Most High God doesn't want you to live in a $265 million penthouse while there are people sleeping outside. Go ahead.
So, like, if I could, just to add on to that, we also got these churches that are ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? They spent $189.7 million on the construction of a church in Los Angeles. So just imagine.
Yeah, 187 million in Los Angeles, which is where Skid Row is.
I was just about to say, imagine
Skid Row,
people that wouldn't be on Skid
Row. Yeah, if they could live in the building.
Right.
Listen, that money that the church gets is not to get you a bigger goddamn building. That money is to serve the people,
right,
to house the people, to feed the people, to take care of the people. Only in America will a woman have to perform oral sex on a stranger for money, and Jeff Bezos has $150 billion. Right. How is that? How can the two even happen? How do you have a country that is so rich with wealth and resources? How is that possible in land, the vast amounts of land that America has, and the resources that America has? Brother, if California was a country, it would be, the GDP of California itself would be more than Germany, the United Kingdom, Ireland, Scotland. It would be more than countries. And you have people that sleep outside. You know the reason why the church is so rich? Because you're so poor. You know why America is so rich? Because we're so poor.
Right.
The Most High God made sure that we would be a righteous people, that we would never be like that. That's why it coincides with the Feast of Tabernacles. Why? Because we are people who make ourselves low, humble. That's what it means to live in a tabernacle, to humble yourself. That's the reason why the Lord wants us to remember it every year. Why? So we are not some big-headed Christian nigga in a $265 million penthouse. So we never forget where we come from. We always remember our humble beginnings.
Right.
On the way out of Egypt, we didn't have $265 million penthouses. We didn't have $100,000 Rolls Royces and Mercedes Benz. We didn't have $150 million churches. We had food, we had little clothing, little shelter, and we didn't even have leaven now. We didn't even have leaven to bake bread. That's how poor we were. That's how poor and how low and how humble we were. We had tents. We had cattle, a few here and there, and we made, the Most High God provided for us, and he never wants us to forget that. He doesn't want you to have the avarice of your oppressor, the avarice of Jeff Bezos. Brother, this is going to blow your mind. Jeff Bezos is buying a yacht. This yacht is called a super yacht. The yacht is worth $1 billion.
Good night.
It's worth $1 billion. This is how ridiculous this yacht is. This yacht has another yacht inside of the yacht. The yacht is a yacht, and then it's a yacht inside of the yacht that can come out of the yacht. The Most High God doesn't want you to be that way. He wants you to remember the poor of your people. How do you do that? By following these laws. The laws that say, what are Kalawan? The gleaning of the field.
Thou shalt leave them unto the poor and to the stranger.
Yeah, you don't need a super yacht out. You don't need yachts on top of yachts, and you don't need private jets on top of private jets. You know what you need? To take care of your people.
That's right.
So they don't have to strip. So they don't have to sell dope and be locked up in prison and oppressed. That's how America is so rich. From oppression of black and Hispanic people. America is rich because they unalived the North American Indian. They unalived black people and made them their slaves. They unalived the South Americans and created Banana Republic. Go look that up. And now America is the #1 country on the planet. America's greed and the oppressor's greed is something that we wouldn't even understand. We couldn't even fathom it. The Most High God doesn't want us to be that way. He wants us to remember the poor of our people, to take care of them. If we are rich, who's going to help the poor? If you have the wealth and the resources to help your people, how would they get the help if you're buying yachts and jets? How would they get the resources they need if you're more concerned about your own self and your own family? Well, guess what? The Most High God made sure that we would never forget the poor. Just because you're poor, it's not a sin to be poor. And that's the problem in America. That's the problem in the Christian church. That's the problem in the Muslim mosque. It's a sin to be poor. It's a sin to not have a job. It's a sin to not be worked, to not go to work every morning. That's a sin in the church. It's not a sin in the Bible.
Right.
It's not a sin to be poor.
Right.
There's no sin in not having and not being able to afford. The only sin is the sin of greed that our oppressor has taught us. He has taught us that through cruelty, and the Most High God doesn't want us to be cruel. He wants us to remember the poor. And when you're celebrating and remembering the Feast of Tabernacles today, remember that. Remember where we came from. Remember, we didn't have yachts. We didn't have $500,000 jets, $600 million watches. We didn't have that. We had each other. We had the laws of God when we had tabernacles. And the Most High God wants us to always remember that. Everybody understand? All right, Majum, this us up here, stand. Go ahead, you talk. All right, Yeshavia, just us up here. Sit down. Shalom, my all right, so go back to that. You got to read it in English. You do it both, because he has to leave. You do it both. So we in what, Leviticus 23, and where did he leave off?
Leviticus 24.
Okay. No, 22.
22.
You're in 23, 22, right? We're in the clean riddance. Don't clean the corners of your field. Don't be greedy, and that's what a greedy bastard would do. There's so much land, and this is something that black people don't understand because so much of our land have been taken from us. And farming and ranching is something that is not even in our mind. We want to be rappers and dancers and entertainers, brother. I keep up with agriculture. I keep up. You ask me the price of how much beef is going for now, and bison and chicken. I know it. Ask Maria, she'll tell you. I keep up with it like I'm insane because that is something that have been stolen from us. The land and the farming and the ranching and the cowboy culture is our culture has been stolen from us. And I know all the largest landowners in America. And if I began to tell you how much land they own, you would go insane. To think about how one man owns all of this land. There are people like that own millions of acres of farmland, of ranch land. Here you are thinking Bill Gates has 200,000 acres. Brother, there's a ranch right now in Texas for sale for $1 billion. And guess how much guess how many acres it is? It ain't 200,000 now. How much? Oh, that's nothing. 778,000 acres. That's one ranch. And Stan Cronkite, or what's the cat that owns the Vermejo Ranch in New Mexico? The reason I keep up with it because in the kingdom, brother, I want them. I want those oppressors' lands. I want them. Everyone understand? Give me a hand. I want to take their land in the kingdom of heaven. I want the Vermejo Ranch and what's the one, the W.T. Wagner Ranch. And I know I vexed Captain Huntham Yard as much as I talked to him about that farming and that ranch and that. Because Lord knows I want it. I want to have it so my people don't have to go to New York City from Mexico and Colombia and go beg the oppressor for a place to stay.
Right.
They could just go stay on 778,000 acres.
Right.
They could just go stay on 1 million acres. Look up Babbitt Ranches. There's a family, a white family in Arizona that owns 1.1 million acres in Arizona. The Vermejo Ranch is 538,000 acres. Now see, when we get land, if you was to make a purchase that big, you know what the oppressor would tell you? This is so evil and so wicked. There's something called BLM. There's something called a lease management. There's basically a Bureau of Lease Management, which means if you own a certain parcel of land that is so big, you have to share it with the state. The state taxes you on every acre you own over a certain amount. Not if you're Stan Cronkite. Not if you're the devil. Look up the devil that owns the Vermejo Ranch in New Mexico. It's going to drive me insane. I used to know his name by heart. I used to know all their names by heart. I know Stan Cronkite is number one. And here you are thinking Bill Gates owns a couple of 100,000. That's nothing, That is absolutely nothing. You don't understand. You won't begin to understand the greed of our oppressor. You won't even understand it. Anybody know what the SEC is? Anybody know what that is? Anybody know about finances? Anybody went to school for economics and finances? Anybody know about Wall Street? The SEC is they are the people, the federal, what's it called, They govern how money is traded on Wall Street. So if anybody ever heard of, what's the cat's name? He embezzled $40 billion, $60 billion, something like that. The SEC would have been the ones to catch him because that's their job. They monitor how the rich people on Wall Street make money. Bernie Madoff, I believe is his name. Bernie Madoff. They made a movie about him with Leonardo DiCaprio. Not Leonardo DiCaprio. What's his name? The Godfather. What is his name? But I'm losing my mind. God damn. I'm thinking about how much the oppressor is greedy, and that's the point I'm making. The oppressor. No, Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro. Give the brother a hand. Robert De Niro. Right? Give the brother a hand. All right? That's who played Bernie Madoff in this movie. This cat stole $60 billion from Wall Street. You know how he stole it? He just made up money. The SEC was looking at his funds one day, and they said, well, how is he so rich? He trades money on the stock market. And they said, well, what is he trading? Because of course, the SEC is like the Federal Bureau of Investigation, but for traders. Right. They're like the FBI, but for Wall Street. And so the SEC, they began to tap his phones and look into his records. And one person one day said, well, he has $40 billion, but in what? He doesn't have $40 billion in oil. He doesn't have it in Samsung or Apple products. The cat just made up numbers on his computer. And he was worth $60 billion. You can go Google this. It's called Ponzi schemes. The cat, he was telling people, listen, if you give me $50,000 for this stock, then you will own this stock. They would give him $50,000, but they wouldn't own the stock. That is how the oppressors, here you are thinking, okay, I'm gonna steal $15 out this woman's purse. I'm gonna go rob this person for $1,000. Brother, you have nothing on the greed of our oppressor. You think you're a criminal? You're nothing compared to the oppressor. The oppressor is a criminal. That Bernie Madoff was one man that stole $60 billion. How much have you stolen? You went to prison for stealing, what, $15,000? $50,000? $500? You robbed a bank and didn't get no money. You didn't even get money. This cat stole $60 billion. He would literally, this is what he would do, Quinaya. He would say, he would go to people like Stan Cronkite, rich oppressors, and he would say, you want to buy this stock? well, just give me $1 billion and then I'll invest your money. And they said, okay, here, this is $1 billion. And I'll invest your money. And he gave him $1 billion. And the SEC began to say, well, what does he have money in? When they came to find out, when they did the research and they did the investigation at the end of it, they said this cat has just been lying.
Right.
This oppressor is just an oppressor. He's been lying to everybody. He doesn't own stock. He doesn't have it like he says he does. He's been lying. There's a woman, I forget her name. She just got recently convicted. And she's a white woman in California. I think I was watching this with my red. And I said, this is Esau. This heifer, she told people that she had the cure to some disease. Her name is Michelle something. She's a white woman, about 40 years old. She said, I have the cure to this disease. And she would go to investors and she would tell investors, I have the cure for this disease. And she would say, but I need $1 billion because I need 600 million of it in order to invest in research.
Right.
I gotta invest in research for my product. And so here she is getting money from rich people, and guess what? She doesn't have a cure for no disease. She doesn't have a doctorate. She lied and said she was some doctor. She's not a doctor. She doesn't have a cure for any diseases. She's just a white woman asking people for money, and they gave her the money. They gave it to her. Bernie Madoff is just a white man asking people for money. He's not an expert. He's just a white man asking people for money. Here you are feeling guilty about being black and Hispanic because everyone makes you feel guilty about committing petty crimes. That's a petty crime compared to what the oppressor does. Some random white man could just ask people for $1 billion and he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Meanwhile, they won't go up more on your Section 8 and on your, EBT card.
Right.
You should go ask rich people for money. Go say you got an idea that you need research done for, and they'll give you $1 billion like they did to the oppressor. Like, you don't begin to understand the greed. Like, who would even think of something like that? Who would even think of a lie like that? I have a cure for this disease, so I need $1 billion for research. And the bitch stole $3 billion out. She was worth $3 billion when she got caught by the FBI.
Good night.
We wouldn't think like that because we don't have that greed. And the Most High God wants to make sure that we never do. The Most High God wants to, hold your point 1 second. So I'm going to come to you. The Most High God wants to make sure, look, you can't even believe it. Right. That's what you sitting there like, damn. You thinking like, I may need to go up to some rich people and ask, I got a cure for this disease. Listen, when I learned about Bernie Madoff, I said, I may need to go to Wall Street. We may need to move to New York. Because if it's that easy to just ask rich white men for money, my God. Can you imagine going to some rich white man and saying, hey, I need $1 billion to invest in Samsung. I can invest your money in Samsung. And imagine he gives you $1 billion. You would be done. You would say, I got $1 billion, I'm done. This cat did this for 35 years.
Good night.
35 years, Doc. Listen, brother, the point I'm making is the Most High God doesn't want you to be evil and cruel and greedy like that.
Right.
Which is why we have high holy days like this. It's for us to remember how humble we are supposed to be as a people. As a nation of people, we are the salt of the earth, the meek of the earth. We're not $265 million. We're a low people. That doesn't mean you can't have money. That doesn't mean you can't have Rolls Royces. Hell, go get your Rolls Royce if you can afford it without going broke. But you shouldn't be greedy. That Rolls Royce shouldn't sway your mind on whether or not your people are taken care of. Because if it does, if you become like Floyd Mayweather and Kanye West and Jamie Foxx and LeBron James and Michael Jordan and be selfish, then you shouldn't get it. You shouldn't get it. But if you can control your lust for wealth and your lust for material goods and still help your people, then do it. Then do it. But the Most High God doesn't ever want you to leave out the poor of your people, which is the point of laws like this. Everybody understand? Go ahead, Cornell Agabar.
I was just gonna bring up another scheme that I just heard what some of these people have done with the airlines.
You gotta hit me there.
Supposedly they sold a bunch of fake parts to the airline, American Airline, I believe it is. They sold them a bunch of fake parts to the planes, and then this just disappeared.
That sounds like an oppressor.
Yeah, God.
That sounds like something an oppressor would do. This lie. This lie.
Yeah.
We would be too scared. Like, okay, it's one thing to go to a banker. You see some cat that's in the hood, he getting money, and you gonna rob him. It's wrong. It's a sin. Don't do that. But that's one thing. For you to go up to rich oppressors, and just lie to their face and say, I need $1 billion of your money, that's something that we wouldn't even think to do. It's something that we can't, like, I don't even understand what's in the mind of the oppressor. Like, he cannot go without. He cannot make one less dollar. You can forget about more money on your EBT. Listen, the government is supposed to shut down tomorrow night. They're supposed to shut down tomorrow night. He doesn't care. And listen, do you know what government shutdown, who it affects? Anybody know when the government shuts down, who doesn't get paid when the government shut down? Which is who? Name them, sis. Who are government employees? Federal government, not local governments. Federal governments.
They're like the Social Security people that work at the Social Security.
Okay, so what are they got? IRS.
Yeah.
Who else?
The welfare office.
Give me something that. Give me government. Somebody tell me who works for the government. They protect the country.
Oh, the soldiers.
Say it again, sis. Say it again. Give the sister a hand. The very people who risk their lives and don't make money as it is, they're going to not get paid when the government shuts down. People who are government employees, meaning contractors, people who fix the White House toilet, people who work for the country, they're civil servants, the people who actually do the work of the rich to make rich people on Capitol Hill richer. They're the ones who won't get paid. Go ahead, sis.
And a lot of them are still expected to show up to work.
Give the sister a hand. Guess what? I just got out and thank the Lord, bro. I can tell you how I was. Give me a hand for getting out of Esau's military right before that government shut down in 2017. I had just got out. And I remember when I had got out and that government shutdown happened, that was the longest government shutdown in history, in the history of America. I remember my friends were still, your sister right here, so like, I don't mean to put her business out there. It was people I knew that was still in the oppressor's military. And I remember going, my God, they still are making them muster at 7 o'clock, at 0700 in the morning. You had to work and not get paid. Okay, brother, that's, I was like, brother, I'm glad I got out. I used to tell this to my rib. I used to say, I would just go to mass. I couldn't go, right or wrong. I would say, I looked at her, she got up in the morning to go to, the government is shut down, you're not getting paid, and you're still going into work. I would not go into work and just have the military police come and get me. I'm not working and not getting paid. That is the craziest thing that I've ever heard. But this is what's even crazier. That the politicians whose job it is to take care of their constituents, they will let it happen. They're going to let it happen tomorrow night. They're going to let it happen tomorrow night. Anybody want to know why? Anybody want to know why? Listen. If you can get this answer, then you will finally have a breakthrough on your oppressor. The government is scheduled to shut down tomorrow night if they don't come with an agreement. Why is it going to shut down? You had your hand up earlier, sis. Go ahead. Now, before you answer, keep this in mind too. They're going to allow the government to shut down, knowing that the only people who won't get paid are the people who risk their lives to defend this country. Think about that for a second. Let that sink in. They're going to let people who risk their lives and die in wars and lose limbs and suffer from PTSD and tinnitus, they're going to let them go without pay and still have to report to work. Why? Why would some Richmond, north of Richmond, do something like that?
Right.
Because they're rich and because they can't come to an agreement about something. I don't know.
It's a little crueler than that, sis. I wish it was that simple. It ain't about coming to an agreement. Anybody want to give an answer or why? It's right there in front of your face.
Nah, I'm not even sure.
Anybody, any sisters?
All I know is all I know is we poor and they don't have no power to move.
Don't even think about them being rich. And not every politician. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not a rich woman. That Steinem that just passed away, she just a senator. She was a rich woman. AOC is not a rich woman. What's the other one's name? The black woman. She's over there in California. There's not all of them are rich. So don't think about riches and wealth but I do want you to think about, there's a word, and I'm not going to say, because I want you to say it. It's not pride. You had your hand up, sis? Oh, Salakia, okay. Go ahead.
Try one more time.
Think about the Feast of Tabernacles and think about this law.
I was about to say oppression. You know what I'm saying?
It's not it. Brother, it's cruel. It's not greed either. Remember, not all of them are rich. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a senator from New York. She's not a rich woman. You probably make more money than her. Every senator and governor isn't rich. Most of them are. The white ones are. But the brothers and sisters in there are not rich. And the government is going to shut down. If it does shut down, the people who risk their lives to protect those politicians, they won't get paid. Why? Why would it even be a conversation? Shouldn't, you said it earlier about not agreeing, well, wouldn't that cancel out if you cared about the people that you're supposed to be representing? So then what is it that makes the government shut down then? What is the thing that the Lord does not want us to be with each high holy day? What is it? It's one word. Say it again, sis. Give the sister a hand. Because our oppressor is selfish. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. The oppressor could be poor. He would still make the government shut down. He could have $0 in his bank account. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. If he doesn't benefit, then there is no benefit. He's not passing laws and making bills. And understand this too about not just your oppressor, but about your Christian churches. Your Christian church is the exact way. They're the same way. If that pastor does not benefit from something, then nothing is going to get done. This is how people outside of the UPK think and they behave. They only operate for themselves. They only care about themselves. They don't care about what's best for. I heard this said the other day. Oh, what did this sister say? I heard a sister talking to her man, and she said, well, you don't never check up. She said, you don't check up on me. It's just that she's in the world, so this ain't no sister in the truth. She told this brother, you don't check up on me. You know my car is messed up, and you don't ask. You don't check up and make sure that am I good? Am I okay? And I sat there and I thought, well, what did she do to him? Is she checking up on him? Is she loving him? And in a Christian's mind, you think that you are the one that's supposed to get the love and the respect and all that. But what are you doing for somebody else? She's asking her man, well, you don't check up on me. Bitch, do you check up on him? Do you make sure he's okay? Do you check his bills and make sure his bills are paid? Why does he have to be the one always? Why do people have to check up on you? That's somebody I can't stand. Where people don't call me to make sure I'm okay. Do you call other people to make sure they're okay? You're selfish. You only care about what benefits you. And that is how people outside this school thinks. God doesn't want us to think like that. Right. The Most High God doesn't want you to behave in the manner of some Christian, some selfish politician, some Richmond, north of Richmond. I can't stand that stupid song. Rich man north of Richmond, and they out there making laws that are going to make sure people who defend this country don't get paid. They're going to make sure that nothing even gets brought up. They're going to filibuster. They're not going to come to an agreement. Why? Because of selfishness. You would think, that you could come to an agreement with somebody if it meant, and let this help you in your marriage, and let this help you with your children, raise your kids. Okay, you're married to a brother, right? You sisters are married to brothers. Okay, the decision you make, if the two of you disagree on something, but the disagreement isn't good for the children, then you know what you should do? You should compromise so that everybody gets what they want. That is how a successful business is ran. That is how a successful marriage is ran. That is how you're going to run a country, America. You have to compromise. You can't be so selfish and to think, well, I got to get my way. I got to get what I want. And then the other person, your husband, says, well, I got to get what I want. You don't do this. And you say, well, you don't do this. Okay, if the thing affects the child or the marriage, you know what you have to do? Compromise. You got to say, okay, well, you want this, I want this. How about we just meet in the middle? So we can prevent a government shutdown. So we can prevent going to council, and we can prevent all of this. Why don't we just compromise? That's something nobody wants to do. You don't want to compromise. Listen, you love the person. And America doesn't want to compromise. Why? Because they're selfish. Whatever the disagreement is on Capitol Hill right now, is it more important than soldiers not getting paid? Is that more important than the people who defend their lives not getting paid? To a selfish person, it is. To somebody who's selfish, it is. If you're married to a selfish person, they're never going to compromise. Why? Because they have to get their way. They have to get what they want. They can never say, well, I yield. We'll just meet together on this. You want this, I want this. How about we just do this? You want to do this, I want to do this. How about we just meet in the middle so we don't have a government shutdown? Right. That is a successful way to run anything. A marriage, a friendship, anything. Raising children, you won't always agree with his way. She won't always agree with your way. But you can compromise to suit the best of the ability of that household. You may not want to get up and go slave. You may say, well, I want you to go work. And she says, well, I don't want to work. I want you to work. You know what you got to do? Both go work. You both go get a slave. You both go do what you don't want to do so that everybody suffers. You all suffer equally. That is how people who aren't selfish operate and think. That is how you have to be. And that is the way the Most High God wants us to be as a nation. We all suffer equally. We all gain equally, and we all suffer equally. Everybody understand? Keep going now. You in verse 24. Go down to verse 24.
Sorry, I thought it was on 22.
No, I just had him go read that again.
Okay.
Verse 24, speak unto the children of Salakia. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, an holy convocation. Verse 25, ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. Verse 26, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, also on the 10th day of this 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls.
Does everybody get the theme of our holy days now? You see how you can't be selfish in this nation. You just can't. And if you're selfish in this school, you're going to get kicked out of this school. You are not allowed to be selfish. You have to think about everybody else before yourself. I don't care what you don't get. What are you doing for everybody else? Everybody has a hard life. I'm so sick of that. Everybody has a rough life. Everybody was molested at 7. Everybody didn't have a father. Nobody had a mother. We've all been through the same thing. Are you going to allow that to make your life into who you are? How about you just go against that thing that wants you to be selfish and go care about the poor of your people? If you're worried, if you're crying about what happened to you, well, who's going to cry for the brother and sister who have less than you do? You know, you get to go home to a comfortable bed. You get a roof over your head. You get something that not everybody gets. There are people and brothers and sisters that are on the streets suffering in a state that you can't even be homeless. You can't even be homeless in the state of Missouri. It's illegal. And there are people that still are homeless in the state of Missouri. Right. They're oppressed on top of oppressed. And what do? Go home and complain about what you don't have? Come on, man. Come on. You cannot be in here if you're that way. You have to be a person who cares about everyone else before yourself. Love everyone else better than someone could ever love you. So you would never be the person that says, well, this is what they not doing. This is what I'm not getting. People don't call and check on me. Always be the person that people say, man, that brother always calls. Man, that sister's always calling. Nobody even knows you got problems because you're so happy all the goddamn time calling and checking up on everybody. That is how you are supposed to be. Not somebody moping and, you know, I lost my job today. Come on, man. Everybody gets fired out. Everybody gets furloughed. What are you, a kid? You're an adult. You don't have to be selfish. That comes from the Christian church. What are you doing for everybody else? Everybody's supposed to benefit you. Well, why don't you benefit them? Everybody understand? That is One West. That is how Commanding General Yohana built this school. Commanding General Yohana didn't complain about, well, who left the school. He worked 3-4 slaves. He slept in that basement floor in Washington, D.C., and he found brothers who were willing to make the same sacrifice like it says in the Bible. If he be willing to go walk 1 mile, then walk 2 miles with him. He found General Mahaiman and found General Mayaka Alaka and found General Hazayan, and they built the school, brother. They built the school. Give them a hand. They built the goddamn school. They didn't worry about, well, what am I not getting? They went out and made sure that this nation was taken care of, regardless of what they had. Brother, they left wives and slaveries. You know General Hyman was supposed to be a lawyer, right? He was on his way to law school, and Commander General said, I need you here to do the work of the Lord. And he sacrificed. He sacrificed time with his children and his wives and lost paychecks and money so the nation could be taken care of. And what are you doing? Complaining about what you don't have? Come on, man. That's not the standard that was set before you. The standard that was set before you is a high one of Moses and Christ and David and Solomon. Think about the founding fathers of America, what they had to go without. You mean to tell me the white man is better than us? George Washington and Andrew Jackson had to go on runs and wars for years in order to establish America, in order to get the Declaration of Independence, in order to establish their country, their fatherland, their motherland. They had to lose slaveries. They had to lose wives. Right. They had to go without seeing their children. They had to be at war for years, like Alexander the goddamn Great. Alexander the so-called Great, he was out to war for 3 years straight. Not seeing his mother, his father, his sisters, his wives, his children. He fought wars and dominated the planet Earth so that his people could have something better than what he was given to him. That is how you have to operate, Ak. That's how you have to be. You can't be selfish or nothing gets done. Alexander wasn't selfish. King David wasn't selfish. George Washington wasn't selfish. They have America, the richest country on the face of the earth, the most mightiful nation this world has ever seen. Mightier than the Mongol Empire and Genghis Khan, mightier than the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire. It took the sacrifice of a few men. It took the sacrifice of a few women. What are you willing to sacrifice and give up so that this nation can thrive and flourish? Are you willing to go? We're going to 31st and Prospect tomorrow. Give Commander Johnny a hand, and he's going to give out food and water and clothes and help for the people down there that's suffering, the people down there that need our help, that are afflicted. We're going to go down there to afflicted souls on 31st and Prospect tomorrow under Commanding General Yana, and we're going to do the work of the Lord. Do you want to always go down to Prospect and see black and Hispanic people be the only ones suffering and dying on Prospect? Do you want to go down to Skid Row and see black and Hispanic people being the only ones suffering and dying on Skid Row? If you don't want that, do you know what you have to do? Sacrifice. That's what you have to do. You have to give up something. You have to be willing to go without something, which is the Day of Atonement, which is the Passover, which is the Feast of Tabernacles. The Most High God wants us to always remember to sacrifice for your nation, the way that the men above us did, the men before us did. You are required to do the same. You're required to sacrifice. Don't get me started on what a black woman can do for her nation. You know about Susanna. You know about Shawashina. You know about the sisters in the Bible that sacrificed her 7 sons.
Right.
She had 7 sons and told them, go to the death chair manfully. Right. But whatever you do, don't forsake the laws of the Most High God. She was willing to sacrifice. What are you willing to do? Are you willing to be a bitch and whine at home? Or are you willing to give up something? Are you a brother who's willing to bitch and whine and cry? Or are you willing to give up something? Are you willing to go to camp every week? Are you willing to make a sacrifice so that the people on Prospect don't have to be homeless for another 50 years? How long have you been in Kansas City, Kunaya? 40 years. I've been in here almost 30 years of my life, and Prospect has always looked like that because nobody sacrifices. Nobody goes without. Everybody wants what's convenient for them. Nobody wants what's inconvenient for them. And that's the ISUPK. We're going to afflict our souls and go without so that our people can be taken care of. So that afflicted souls can get what they need. So that brothers and sisters don't have to die and suck a man's rod for pennies. Right. She won't have to live like that anymore. He won't have to live like that anymore because of my sacrifice.
That's right.
Because of this brother's sacrifice. Because of Commanding General Yana's sacrifice. And Officer Elijah Shah's sacrifice. And Trooper Kalawan's sacrifice. We're going to make sure it's our business that they don't have to live like that anymore. That's right. I pray you understand. Keep reading now.
Kalawakan, sir. So like, yeah. and offering made by fire unto the Most High. Verse 28. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before the Most High your power.
I'm going to read it in Hebrew. You can just read it in English. I'm reading in Hebrew. And that was 28? All right, verse 29, Leviticus 23 and 29 in Hebrew. Sayakah, Hanapash, Shashar, La'ah, Tha'ainah, Ba'aitazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Wanakarath, Ma'aimyah. Verse 30, Wakal, Hanapash, Ashar, Tha'aisha, Kal, Malakah, Ba'aitazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Salaki, Hazah, Wahadabathia, Ath, Hanapash, Hanawa, Makurah, Baima. Verse 31, Kal, Makalah, Salaki, Malakah, La'ah, Tha'aisha, Wa, Kakwath, Salaki, Iwalam, Ladarath, Yakam, Bakal, Mashabath Yakam. Verse 32, Shabbath one, Hawa'ah, Lakam, Wa'aina Yatham, Ath, Napashta Yakam, Bata Sha'aya, Lachadash, Ma'irab, Irab, the Shabbath Yakam, Salaki, Shabbathkam. Verse 33, Waya the bar, Yahweh, Al, Mashallah, Amar. Verse 34, the bar, Al, Banya, Yasha Allah, Amar, Makamasha, Aishara, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashabayaya, Hazak, Hasakatwa, Shabai, Yum, La Yahweh. Verse 35, Bayawam, Hara Ashwan, Makarah, Kodash, Kal, Malakath, Ibadah, La'ah, Ta'aishua.
This is Leviticus 23, verse 29. For whatsoever so it be that shall not be afflicted in the same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Verse 30.
Make sure you're reading up.
And whatsoever so it be that doeth any work in the same day, the same soul will I destroy from among his people. Verse 31. Ye shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Verse 32, it shall be unto you a Sabbath of rest, and ye shall afflict your souls in the 9th day of the month at Eve. From even to even shall ye celebrate your Sabbaths. Verse 33, and the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, verse 34, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of this 7th month shall be the Feast of Tabernacles, for 7 days unto the Most High. Verse 35, on the first day shall be an holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Damn right. Give it up for the Feast of Tabernacles. Right? That's where we at right now. Oh, God Christ for the brothers and sisters sacrifice to bring food and to come and to keep the Lord's high holy day. You could be doing anything. You could be out there smoking weed, getting high, but you would rather forsake that. You would rather forsake, and this always blows my mind out, for anybody to come into the UPK therapy. Because why would you be in here? You mean to tell me you can't leave your husband? You can't leave your wife? You can't get high? You can't celebrate Christmas? You want that? Brother, that is amazing. That's sacrifice.
Right.
That's the kind of sacrifice this world needs. To go without the thing you want. I know you want to. Listen, it's okay you do want to do something, but it's even more powerful to want to do it and not do it.
Right.
Which is what we do. Lord knows I would love to be having, I ain't gonna say so like that.
That's a lot.
Brother, brother, listen. You know what my thing was in the world, our women tell. Chasing women. Lord knows that lust.
God.
And leave them. Having sex with a woman and leave them. Who says I don't want to do that now? I'm not saying I don't. I'm not saying anything. But I can't. Why? Because I make a sacrifice to keep the laws of God. And so do you. You keep a sacrifice to keep the laws of God. You keep the laws to say, you sacrifice to keep the laws of God is to say, I can't get high even though I want to. I know y'all want to smoke. I know it. I know you want to get high and snort cocaine. I know you want to get on that good dope and that fentanyl they selling out there. But guess what? You want to do it and you don't. And you don't do it. You don't do it. You don't have sex with whores. You don't get high. That's an amazing thing, God. That's the type of sacrifice that everyone should make. Everyone in the world should make the sacrifices that we make in this school. This is the standard. You are the standard. Brothers and sisters in this school are the reason why our people aren't suffering and dying at a higher rate than they already are, because of the sacrifice that you're willing to make. The the sacrifice we're willing to make. And that's something that should be copied and emulated for the rest of the world to do. Everyone understand? So give the Lord, give the Most High another hand for another feast of tabernacles. Everybody understand? Now this is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. Shabbat, Yum Yum, Dakarabia, Asha, La Yahweh, Bayawam, Hashemayanya, Makora'a, Kodash, Yahweh, Salaki, Yahya, Nakam, Wakwara Betham, Asha, La Yahweh, Itazarath, Hawa'a, Kal, Malakath, Ibada, La'at, the Aishua, verse 37, Allah, Mawa'idya, Yahweh, Ashar, Dakoramwa, Atham, Makora'a, Makoraya, Kodash, La Hakorabia, Salaki, La Hakoryab, Asha, La Yahweh, Ayla, Wamadaka, Zabak, Salakia, Wanasakyam, Debar, Yawam, Bayawamwa, verse 38, Salakia, Malabad, Shabbathath, Yahweh, Wamalabad, Matanawath Yakum, Wamalabad, Kal, Nadayarkum, Wamalabad, Kal, Salaki, Nadawath Yakum, Ashar, Thathanwa, La Yahweh, verse 39, Ak, Bakamash, Aishar, Yawam, Lakadash, Hashabayaya, Ba'ashapkum, verse Salaki, Af, Double Af, Haratazah, Thakagwa, Af, Kag, Yahweh, Shabbat, Yum Yum, Bayawam, Hara Ashwan, Shabbathwan, Wabayawam, Hashabayanya, Shabbathwan, verse 40, Walachukatham, Walachukatham, Lakam, Bayawam, Hara Ashwan, Paya, Aitazah, Hadar, Kapath, Thamarium, Wa'ainat, Aitazah, Ibath, Wa'irabya, Nachal, Washakatham, Lapanya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, Shabbat, Yum Yum, verse 41, Wakagatham, Athawa, Kag, La Yahweh, Shabbat, Yum Yum, Bashana, Kakwath, Iwalam, Ladarathikam, Bakadash, Hashapayaya, Takagawa, Athawa. That's it.
One more, sir. 42.
Salaki, verse 42, Basakath, the Shabwa, Shabbat, Yum Yum, Kal, Hazarach, Mayasha'ala, Yeshabua, Salakia, Yeshabua, Basakath.
This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36.
Salakia, I'm going to go ahead and finish it off. All right, verse 43, Lama'ain, Yediawa. Okay, what do you see? Is that Da'arath?
That's, yeah, Da'arath. Yeah,
Da'arath Yakum, Kaya, Basakawath, How was Shabbathya, Af, Banya, Yasha'ala, Baharas, Jesus Christ. How Atazaya, Baha Awataz Salakia, How Atazaya, Salakia, How what is a Ya'aya? Baha what is a Ya'aya? Our thumb, our Rataza, Matazarium, Anya, Yahweh, Alahayakam, verse 44. Way the bar, Masha, Af, Ma'aidya, Yahweh, Al, Bayan, Yashala.
This is Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. 7 days ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High. On the 8th day shall be in holy convocation unto you, and ye shall offer an offering made unto fire unto the Most High. It is a solemn assembly, and ye shall do no servile work therein. Verse 37. These are the feast of the Most High, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, to offer an offering made by fire unto the Most High, a burnt offering, and a meat offering, a sacrifice, and drink offerings, everything upon his day. Verse 38, beside the Sabbaths of the Most High, and beside your gifts, and beside all your vows, and beside all your free will offerings, which ye give unto the Most High. Verse 39, also in the 15th day of the 7th month, when ye have gathered in the fruit of the land, ye shall keep a feast unto the Most High 7 days. On the first day shall be a Sabbath, and on the 8th day shall be a Sabbath. Verse 40. And ye shall take on the first day the boughs of goodly trees, branches of palm trees, and the boughs of thick trees, and willows of the brook. And ye and ye shall rejoice before the Most High your power 7 days. Verse 41. And ye shall keep it a feast unto the Most High 7 days in a year. It shall be a statute forever in your generations. Ye shall celebrate it in the 7th month. Verse 42. Ye shall dwell in booths 7 days. All that are Israelites born shall dwell in booths. Verse 43. That your generations may know that I made the children of Israel to dwell in booths when I brought them out of the land of Egypt.
So real quick, the Lord said, I made you to do it. I made you to be humble. I didn't make you to be someone with the greed of the oppressor. Everybody understand? I made you to be humble.
Right.
I made you to humble yourself, not to need 1,000 cars, 1,000 houses. Don't be like the oppressor out here. Don't be selfish. Be somebody who cares about the poor and afflicted.
Right.
Go ahead, keep going now.
I am the Most High your power. Verse 44. And Moses declared unto the children of Israel the feast of the Most High.
Yeah, right. Most High Christ. Another feast. Down in the books. And remember, it's a span of 7 days. So, the span of 7 days. The Feast of Tabernacles ends. The closing will be next Saturday evening at sundown. Same time it was tonight. All right. I imagine just us up here. You can come a little closer now. Come on. Sarah?
La Yashala.
La Yashala? Sar? I imagine everyone stand. Alright. Well, Panyakodam, which means to rise and face. I'm gonna go through it. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratzazak. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Goah. Hayah. Bashemayim. Nakham. Kal. Yawam. Basalaklanau. Kasalaknau. Kabawathinau. Wala'ah. Dabaya'ah. Banasayawan. Abal. Awashana. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Waha'ala. Wahatapara. Wahawalamya. Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forget our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakat, the prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Shim Yahushua. Baba Kusha. Nathanawa. Hakah. La Pa'ah. Kal Makala. Wakal Marawa. Hakah. La Tahar. Hamatazariah. Hakah. La Hakwiyah. Hakah. Arakawa. Hatama Allah. The Garashan. By Shim Yahushua. The Wad Aman.
In English. Salakia. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please. Give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead.
The power
against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
So be it.
The prayer to bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Hashim Yahushua.
Hashim Yahushua.
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayashala.
Wayashala.
Waha.
Waha.
Bayat Sapari.
Bayat Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapah.
Rapah.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun.
Hashim Yahushua.
Hashim Yahushua.
The water Aman.
The water Aman. What we just said in English was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shah, bless us and Israel in the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect. In the name of Yahweh Shah, thank you. So be it. Salakia. Bless, shield, Salakia. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones in the name of Yahweh Shah. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms chapter 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahari.
Al-Hahari.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemayim.
Shemayim.
Wa'aratazah.
Wa'aratazah.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shemarka.
Shemarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shemarka.
Shemarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarach.
Wayarach.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Ra.
Makal Ra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapasha.
Athnapasha.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'athka.
Taza'athka.
Wabawa'ak.
Waba'ak.
Ma'aitha.
Ma'aitha.
Wa'ai.
Wa'ai.
Iwalam.
Iwalam.
Aman.
Aman. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
I will lift up mine eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al damayalaka.
Al damayalaka.
Al takarash.
Al takarash.
Al tashakwat.
Al tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama yawan.
Yahama yawan.
Wamashanayaka.
Wamashanayaka.
Nasha'awa.
Nasha'awa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al aimaka.
Al aimaka.
Ya'ira yamwa.
Ya'ira yamwa.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayafaya ai tazawad.
Wayafaya ai tazawad.
Al tazap pawanyaka.
Al tazap pawanyaka.
Amawa.
Amawa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakira.
Wanakakira.
Magoya.
Magoya.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham yasha'ala.
Sham yasha'ala.
Aiwa.
Aiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai tazawad.
Tazawad.
Lab.
Lab.
Yahadwa.
Yahadwa.
Alyaka.
Alyaka.
Baryaf.
Baryaf.
Yakarathwa.
Yakarathwa.
Ahalya.
Ahalya.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashama alyam.
Wayashama alyam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaria.
Wahagaria.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'aimawan.
Wa'aimalak.
Wa'aimalak.
Palashaf.
Palashaf.
I'm Yeshabi.
I'm Yeshabi.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawad.
Zarawad.
Labanyalawat.
Labanyalawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamad.
Kamad.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Kasa'at Sayah.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banachal.
Banawal.
Banachal.
Salaki. Banachal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Nadayamwa.
Nayadamwa.
Ka'ira.
Ka'ira.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakaza'aba.
Wakazaba.
Wakazaba.
Wakatazalmanah.
Wakatazalmanah.
Call Nasaya Kamwa.
Call Nasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amawa.
Amawa.
Nayarashah.
Nayarashah.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ath. Na'awat.
Na'awat.
Alahayah.
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 Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagawgala.
Kagawgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanyaraka.
Lapanyaraka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Daba Ira Ira.
Ira.
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba.
Kalahat.
Kalahat.
Paryam.
Paryam.
Khan.
Khan.
Daradapma.
Daradapma.
Basairaka.
Basairaka.
Wabasawa Pathka.
Wabasaba Pathka.
Daba Halam.
Daba Halam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kolawan.
Kolawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahalwa.
Walahalwa.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Wayakapawa.
Wayakapawa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayadaiwa. Kaya.
Kaya.
Atha.
Shamka.
Yahweh. Yabadka. Al. Yawan. Al. Kal. Ha'aratazah. Aman.
Aman. We just Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
And be not still, O Yahweh.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
and
they that hate thee
have
lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. Salaki. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kazan.
At the brook of Kazan. So like you said it right. Go ahead, keep going.
At the brook of Kazan.
Which
perished at indoors. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red. And like Zeb. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. All their princes. Stop. Salakia. All their princes as Zabah and as Amunah who said let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth. So be it.
Sar, which means to turn. Alright. I got you. Okay. So this is Yeshavi, which means to be seated. Alright, men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I Madyam, Barak, Yahaba, Shemiel, Shabrak, Thumb, Yajimatah, Sar, face the sisters, I Madyam, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Salute, so sisters will have, okay, so this is the sister salute. You're going to stand, I imagine Shabbat for a sister is just like this. And then when it's time for you to salute, you're going to have your left hand down to your side, I believe, and then you're going to have your right hand over you still have your head down, feet at a 45-degree angle. You're going to have your right hand over your chest like this, and you're going to say Yahweh Shema Alatha Bashim Shah. Everybody understand? Okay. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, I imagine Shabbat, I Madyam, Barak, Salakia. The sisters will do this. You're gonna have your right hand over your chest, just like this, over your heart, just like this. So every sister, this is the salute for the sister, just like this. Right here, there you go. All right, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Alathan Ba'Hashim Yahushai.
Yahweh Shemar Alathan Ba'Hashim Yahushai.
Yajimatah, dismissed. Well done, sisters.